Moving on now, Russia has launched a new wave of drone attacks on Ukraine, causing widespread damage and injuries. In the city of Dnipro, a late-night strike injured 3 people and triggered fires. Over 10 high-rise buildings were damaged, along with several cultural and educational facilities. Meanwhile, in Kharkiv, a mass drone assault injured at least 9 people. The attack caused multiple fires in the city centre and extensive damage to buildings. Kharkiv's mayor reports significant destruction, including a critical boiler station, leaving many without heating. Ukraine's air forces confirmed that Russia fired 86 drones and 1 missile in these overnight strikes. The attack continued to target Ukraine's key cities, intensifying the ongoing conflict.
Доволі масово, від 10 до 15 вибухів було на території міста Харкова. Зараз оглядаються місця влучань, це дуже велика територія. 2 райони були під ударами, Київський район, Слобідський.
Будинків розтрощена повністю котельня, яка була основною для цього мікрорайону, і мешканці цих будівель залишилися без теплопостачання.
We are now joined by Gilbert Doctorow, Russian affairs expert located in Brussels. Gilbert, thank you very much for joining us. Obviously today is once again a reconvening of the coalition of the willing, which is about 30 countries, mostly Europe-based, some NATO members, Canada. Given that, does Moscow view this as a legitimate defence measure by sovereign nations or as a provocation, would you say?
Neither. It views it, as I do, as a greeting, as a meeting of the delusionals. What Mr. Macron has said is utterly delusional. And the only consequence of this meeting and of the rejection of the terms of the ceasefire on the naval commerce in the Black Sea, which was concluded on Monday, the rejection by the EU spokesman yesterday, will be the hollowing out of NATO, its evisceration, to be followed by the collapse, the implosion of the EU institutions. Why do I say that? Because every provocation by Mr. Macron, by Ursula von der Leyen, from from Kallas, the foreign ministry spokesman for the EU, these provocations are giving reason for the administration of Donald Trump to leave NATO, which it probably will do. You cannot defy the United States, as Macron is doing, as the EU is doing, as Merz is doing in Germany, and expect nothing to happen, expect no consequences. The consequences will be clear in a matter of days or weeks, and that will be the US leaves NATO.
French President Emmanuel Macron, I want to stick on this discussion for the moment, but he's proposed deploying European force in Ukraine to respond if it was attacked by Russia. How does Russia perceive this proposal, and what actions might Moscow consider in response to such a deployment?
This was stated very clearly by the Foreign Ministry, by Sergei Lavrov. They view it as laughable. The United States will not support it, and without American support, anything that Europe does, starting with Mr. Macron, has no chance of succeeding. Anyone who is sent by Macron or other European nations to supposedly defend Ukraine on Ukrainian territory, they will be slaughtered. Slaughtered, as already has been stated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Russia. They will be considered legitimate targets for Russian missile strikes and other devastating actions. So Macron is heading Europe into what would be the Third World War if he had US backing. But since he has no US backing, he's heading Europe into self-destruction.
How are you analysing Trump and Putin's relationship at the moment? Critics would say that Trump have been saying that Trump is falling for Putin's propaganda, as they put it. What do you have to say to that?
Well, for them, this propaganda is it's the reality on the ground. They are the delusionals. They refuse to accept what is in front of their eyes, and therefore they call it propaganda. Trump is accepting the inevitable. Either the inevitable is that wars end on the terms of the victor, not on the terms of the loser. NATO is a loser. Ukraine is a loser. The United States, up to the time of Trump, was the loser. Trump is trying to extricate the United States from this lost war. And so everything that is being said about Trump being fooled by Putin is said by people who are pure propagandists and who do not want this war to end, because it serves their purposes of keeping Europe under their control. And unelected people, authoritarians around the Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, they are destroying Europe.
Gilbert Doctorow, thank you very much for joining us. We now